attention to the weather at the summit of Mount Washington, the highest elevation point in the Northeast. It is currently 62 degrees. The wind is measured at 1 mile per hour, but there is relatively no wind. Visibility about 30 miles. Folks, it is an unusual day at the summit of Mount Washington with no clouds, no coolness, so we ask you to plan accordingly as you run to the highest elevation point in the Northeast.
Janie De La Torre, former winner, wearing number 1 this year for the women.
2001 Mount Washington Honor Road Race. I'm Andy Shackey, your host, and this is John Stifler, press liaison. Great field today.
Tremendous field, one of the best we've had. Daniel Kahara is back, going for his 4th win in as many tries. Joan Samuelson is returning. She ran 4 years ago and said, well, I might do this again in 10 years. We got her back 6 years early. She is trying, we think, to break her Masters course record, an hour 16 and 3 seconds. And there's $4,100 in for her if she does that. Thank you, New England Runner Magazine. Dave Dunham, can never count him out. He's won 3 times. He's been running very well. Best New England runner of Mount Washington in history besides Bob Hodge.
And of course, the big question, will Craig Fram break the 1962 Masters record?
1 hour.
Fred Norris.
Yep, 1 hour, 4 minutes, 57 seconds. What do you think?
I think this is the day Fred's record's in trouble.
I talked to him a few minutes ago. He says he's hopeful.
He's hopeful, and we've got a pretty strong shot at the women's Masters record too, because Joni's going to be pushed by Janie De La Torre, who won this race 3 times, and who once held the course record at an hour 11 something. Janie's in good shape. She could push Joni, and probably, if she has a good day, Anna Pikatova will be ahead of both of them, because she's run a 1:15 half marathon, and she looks very fit. She's from the Czech Republic.
41st running of the Mount Washington Honor Road Race. Should be a great day.
Craig Fram, going for the Masters record. What do you think, Craig? Is it in any danger this year?
I think in danger, but we'll see what happens.
A little hot.
Pretty warm, yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Barbara Remmers, winner 2 years ago. Good luck, Barbara.
Thanks a lot.
I'm going to try to start it. Dave Dunham, former winner. Good luck,
Check
Dave.
1, 2. Who's firing? You're put over by the cannon.
Daniel Kahara, course record holder.
Get behind the line, please. Okay, it's hot for the stack for today. All I have to do is get out of the third stage and get aboard. Wait for the cannon, you'll hear it. Everybody knows the rule. Don't go out too fast, it's hot out there. All right.
There's only one hill.
The gun is sounded for the start of the 2001 Mount Washington Road Race, as 1,000 runners make their way to the highest elevation point in the Northeast. This is the part of the race that we like to call the tease. Almost a quarter of a mile that the runners don't have to worry about the elevation before the work starts to begin for them. Some of the great mountain runners in the world have shown up once again to run this race. And very quickly, a runner from South America, from the country of Colombia, Herman Fernandez, trying to go out fast and has grabbed the first lead here. A lot of eyes will be on the runner currently in second place, the 3-time winner, Daniel Kahara. Kahara has won this race 3 times and has finished under 1 hour in all 3 of these races. But who is Herman Fernandez from Colombia? He has established himself as one of the top mountain runners in all of the United States and in South America. He came to this race as a friend of one of the other perennial top 10 finishers, Mike Kasner of the Central Mass Striders who resides in Keene, New Hampshire, guys that trained in Columbia this past year, had befriended some of the top mountain runners in Columbia, one of them being Fernandez. Always an interesting thing when a runner like Fernandez is running his very first Mount Washington road race and really has nothing to compare it to. And I always think it's interesting that a guy like Fernandez would go out at a fast pace, whereas a more experienced winner like Kihara would probably have a much better idea on how to run this race. So you would think that somebody like Fernandez would want to stay with Kihara, kind of learn from a previous winner. But obviously Fernandez feeling good. And so he has gone out very quickly to the front. Now, a lot of times, the front runner does hold on to the lead, particularly when it's a runner like Kihara, who is usually in the lead right from the start. So we will have to see how this develops, as Fernandez took advantage of that early flat portion of the course to establish a bit of a lead. Now taking a look back to see just how much of a lead he has over Kihara. Some of the other top men who are in this race: Janko Benca from Yugoslavia, a top European mountain runner who has faced Kihara on more conventional road races, actually has beaten Kihara in head-to-head competition in more conventional road races. Dave Dunham, the perennial top runner in New England in the field. He is a three-time winner, having finished first in 1988, 1989, and again in 1994. The other big story of the day: in 1962, Fred Norris won this race in 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 57 seconds. And that record was good enough to be a long-standing record because Norris was 40 years old at the time. And when you think of the difference in training techniques, when you think of the difference in training and running footwear and the things that we have learned in the sport of running in the last 39 years, yet Fred Norris's record still stands as the Masters record at this road race. And every year the question is asked, will this be the year that Fred's record falls? And back after a year's absence, when he wasn't feeling well and was under the weather, he's Craig Fram of Plaistow, New Hampshire, the 1997 winner of this race. Fram was under 40 at the time. He's now 42 years old. That time he ran in 1997 of 104.48 was better than Norris's record, but this is 4 years later. Fram is back to see if he can break Fred Norris's record. If he does, he gets a bonus of $4,100 offered by New England Runner magazine. This is the 41st running of the Mount Washington Auto Road Race. And last year, New England Runner, for the 40th running of this race, offered a $4,000 bonus. Nobody broke the Masters record. And so they upped it $100 to honor the 41st running of this race and make the Masters prize of $4,100. The Masters prize of $4,100 also is being offered to the top women master, and that is owned by Joan Samuelson, the 1984 Olympic marathon gold medalist, who is in the field today, deciding in the last few days that she would indeed run this race. So she is in the field and one of the pre-race favorites amongst the women. We'll get a look at the women a little bit later. But right now, it looks like the gap that Fernandez opened up right at the first portion has narrowed. We pick up the race a few minutes later, and we see that Germán Fernandez's lead has in fact narrowed. That is Janko Benca, who lists his home as Flagstaff, Arizona. He is from Yugoslavia. He has a best marathon time of 2 hours and 14 minutes, and right behind him is Daniel Kihara, the three-time winner. Not surprisingly, the gap that Fernandez opened up in the first half mile has narrowed. He felt good, came out fast, but he has been reeled in by Janko Benza and Daniel Quijara. Quijara has won the race 3 times. Other multi-winners of this race include Mike Gallagher, who won the race 4 years in a row from 1968 to 1971. Bob Hodge, who has the most victories at this race, 7 times between 1977 and 1987, including a remarkable 5 years in a row from 1976 to 1980. And Matt Carpenter, a 3-time winner of this race, also a multiple winner of this race. So now you see Benza has moved out in front. Benza, as we mentioned a moment ago, has beaten Quijara in conventional races, but obviously the Mount Washington Auto Road race is not a conventional race. We come to the first water stop, as you also can see that Quijara has moved into second. The weather will be a significant factor in this 2001 Mount Washington Auto Road race. It will be much warmer from start to finish than the runners are used to. They say it is clear at the top of Mount Washington only 1 out of every 6 days, but we are in the midst of a 2-3 day stretch where it is not only going to be clear, but there's going to be very little wind, and the temperature should be in the low to mid 60s. Quite often you cannot see 10-20 feet in front of you when the clouds roll in at Mount Washington. That will not be the case today for the lead runners. Rain predicted later in the day, but it should hold off till well after all the runners have finished the race today. What effect the heat will have on these runners is not known, and we certainly won't know that until the race gets well underway into the latter stages. One runner, the runner from Keene, New Hampshire, Mike Kasner, has often fared well in the heat. Some of his best finishes in terms of place in the top 10 have been when the weather is warmer. Kasner is one of those runners who runs about the same regardless of the weather, so when the weather gets warmer, some of his opponents will struggle while Kasner will run as well as he normally would, and that will allow him to move up in a few spots. So we'll have to see if that in fact does happen here today. We are well past the first mile mark. An 11.5% grade on average from start to finish at this race. And what also makes the race so difficult, right now you are seeing one of the very, very few, and you can see it's a very short and few breaks that the runners get from the hills, where the course just leveled off for not much more than 20 or 30 yards, and then we go back up. The steepest portion of the course is right at the finish. It is a 30% incline the last few hundred yards before the runners have to get to the finish line. So they've already run 7.6 miles, and they have the toughest portion of the course still ahead of them, making for a very challenging finish to this race. Janko Benza continues to lead. Herman Fernandez in the orange jersey has dropped back into third place. Off in the distance, hard to see, is Dave Dunham, the 3-time winner. Dunham represents the Central Mass Striders. The surest thing that you can count on at the Mount Washington Road Race is that the Central Mass Striders will win the team competition. They hold the team record that was set in 1999. And every year, the Central Mass Striders, with runners like Mike Kasner, Dave Dunham, Dan Verrington, usually run away with the team trophy. It's not a question of if, it's a question by how much that the Central Mass Striders will win this race. Central Mass Striders, for those of you not familiar with New England running, one of the, if not the premier running club in New England. They are often the team champions at the New England Grand Prix series, a series of 7 races run throughout New England, and as well as strong performances on the track. They are a top club, and you could say that it is their mountain running that looks like Daniel Quijara now has closed the gap in on Benso. Like Fernandez, since this is Benso's first time up Mount Washington, I am a little surprised that he would not have just run with Quijara. Quijara knows this road, having won it 3 times and having won it in less than an hour. And I would think that if you wanted to challenge Quijara, you would stay with him. You would figure he knows what he's doing, and he knows what he's doing under conditions like this. So I wouldn't want to run out ahead of him. I'd want to stay right with him as much as possible. That was the case last year. Actually, for the last couple of years, when runners have stayed with Quijara till the top, but then Quijara has pulled away for the victory.
Like he's trying to do that now. Stay with him.
Right now, Benso, after watching Quijara pass him, perhaps in a psychological move to say, no, I'm not finished, has picked up the pace and has now pulled ahead of Quijara. So this could be quite a duel between 2 of the top mountain runners in the world, Daniel Quijara from Kenya and Janko Benso from Yugoslavia.
I hate to do it, but a lot of times coming up. We don't get back to see the women.
Yeah, that's all right. We've got plenty of time to see these guys.
Well, we might see.
And this will give us a chance to see a lot of the other runners. So now as we pick up the race, Quijara and Benso have shifted spots, and perhaps that's what they will do, take turns. And you see Quijara saying, go ahead, Benso, you want to set the pace, you go right ahead, I'll follow you, I'll tuck right behind you and let you set the pace. And obviously Quijara, as was the case the last 2 years, very confident that when he gets to the top that he would be able to have enough left to win it. But Benso didn't take up the invitation from Quijara. And now I guess as they turn the corner, he will take up the invitation to move on ahead. One of the things to look for when you look at these 2 runners is their form. One of the signs that this course is starting to wear on you will be the runners starting to dip their heads, look down towards the ground rather than to run in a more upright position. Needless to say, it doesn't take long before this course will wear on a runner, particularly on a warm day like today. At this point, both of them looking pretty smooth. A little more of a different running style. Quijara not moving his arms back and forth as much as Benso's. But both continue to look right now like they have been able to maintain their form that they started the race with. You can see more longer. So we are going to stop here and let our top 2 runners, Janko Benso and Daniel Quijara. Okay, ready? So we will wait here. Janko Benso and Daniel Quijara have gone by. You can see they have opened up a considerable lead on the rest of the pack. And now here come the other runners. On the left side, wearing number 3 is Eric Morse. Number 4 is Craig Fram, going after the Masters record, and they are followed by 3-time winner Dave Dunham. Fram won this race in 1997, the 37th running of this race, with a time of 1:04:48. So we have seen our top 5 runners, Quijara, Benso, Morse, Fram, and Dunham, and they have opened up a considerable lead over the rest of the pack. Already, we have lost sight of Germán Fernandez, who started out with that lead in the first half mile, and I'm wondering if he has already decided that this race is not for him and perhaps dropped out. We will have to wait and see. This is Mike Kasner, and there is Germán Fernandez. Mike Kasner wearing bib number 9 from the Central Mass Striders, and Germán Fernandez, and behind them Dan Verrington, another Central Mass Strider runner. Once again, the Central Mass Strider.
They'll get a bigger straightaway.
Sean Livingston number 12. Sean Livingston is the age group winner for 19 and under. He owns the course record back in 1987 with a 109.14. He's now 32 years old.
Can you roll up more and get a longer straightaway so we can see them?
Number 10 and 650 were in it.
Is that any better? No, keep going.
Other runners that we have seen gone by: Fergus Cullen from Laconia, New Hampshire, Larry Sayers from Bellow Falls, Vermont, two of New England's top runners. Cullen from the Laconia Lakes region, and Sayers from Vermont, also Central Mass Striders. So what have we've seen almost half of the top 10 or 12 represented by the Central Mass Striders. Another strong performance by that club.
On these corners.
This is good. This would be
All
good.
right.
This is good, because now we can see the women. And so we will now wait and see, as the top males go by, which female has moved into the lead. As we do, we'll tell you a little bit about the female field, but first, that is Michael Woodman from Maryland.
Could that be? F2, women 2 would be a number.
Number 11 coming by us is Steve Peterson from Chelmsford, Massachusetts. Number 575. And now our first female coming into sight. And it is Anna Pirkachova. Pirkachova is from the Czech Republic, 7th at the World Mountain Championships, and she won the Charlotte, North Carolina half marathon with a course record and has a 34:21 personal best at 10 kilometers. So our first female is Anna Pirkachova from the Czech Republic, now residing in Waynesboro, West Virginia. And it looks like at the early portion of this course she has established a fairly decent lead. And we will have to see if she's able to hold it. And in the blue shirt with the white hat, one of the most famous female runners in American history, Joan Benoit Samuelson, now 44 years old, going after her own Masters record that she set in 1997, 1:16:03. There you see her, tucked behind a runner in the blue singlet with the white hat. The familiar baseball cap. What would a road race be that Joan Benoit Samuelson runs without a white cap? Off in the distance, we're about to get a look at our third female, who is behind Pirkachova and Samuelson. And
13.
it is, we will tell you in just a second, it is a woman by the name of Kathy Pierce. That was bib 13. Kathy Pierce is our third female. So we have seen 3 women go by. Kathy Pierce from New Mexico.
Fourth woman, number 8.
And number 8, Nikki Kimball from the Western Mass Athletic Club in Elizabethtown, New York.
Time to go.
All right, roll up.
Start it. You can.
Try to get in front of Joan Benoit.
Did you hear that? Well,
No, she's got a blue singlet with a white baseball cap.
Joan Benoit we're looking for. Yeah.
Are we rolling? Okay, as we pull away, we'll let you know who some of these runners are. Number 668 is Paul Shepherdson from Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Right in front of us, we go by number 94, Todd Brown from Rocky Hill, Connecticut. You'll see on the left, runners are already starting to walk. 90% they say will walk before this race is over. Renee Frazee was also in the pack there. We passed a woman who I don't think we saw her go by the first time. Renee Frazee is one of the top women. Number 667, Ed Sheldon from the Gate City Striders. And now we look at number 350, That was Bob Johnson from Leominster, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Number 578, Ken Pliska from Marblehead, Massachusetts. Another look at Joan Benoit Samuelson as she makes her way to the top. Just in front of her, Mark Bean of the winner's circle. He is from Newton, Massachusetts. And to Joan Samuelson's left, number 346, is James Jacobs from upstate New York. Number 643, Paul Sachs from Steamboat Springs, Colorado. Number 245, Peter Flynn, also from the Willow Street Athletic Club in upstate New York, as was James Jacobs. On our right, Mark Berman from Elliott, Maine, and the Coastal Athletic Association, a former top marathon runner at the Boston Marathon, one of the state of Maine's more accomplished runners. Right in front of us, number 92, another accomplished runner from the state of Maine, from Lewiston. It is Scott Brown from the Whirlaway running team. Berman showing pretty good form at this point. As you can see, guys like Brown are already starting to drop their heads, lean forward, trying to deal with this ongoing incline. One of the most difficult things about this race, the psychology of rarely getting a break from the mountains. Dave Dunham told me that it's the psychology of running a race like this that is as wearing on him as the physical demands of running uphill. Just the psychology of having to tell yourself that this mountain just doesn't see, this road just doesn't seem to end. A lot of mountain road races will have drops in them to give runners a breather, to give them a break, but that not the case at the Mount Washington Road Race. They usually call it the race to the clouds, but today it's going to be the race to a sunny summit with visibility of about 30 miles. And number 45, and they give him the number every year to commemorate his age, running right next to Joan Benoit Samuelson, that is Bob Hodge. Remarkable that Hodge would be able to win this race 5 years in a row. This is not a race like a traditional 5K that if you're not feeling good, you can overcome. Anything is wrong with you, you have a pulled muscle, you have a slight head cold, you haven't gotten any rest. If you're not at peak performance at this race, this is a race where you're going to pay for it. And the fact that Bob Hodge was able to come back to this race 5 years in a row, not having had any injuries, not having had any problems, and was able to finish first, was quite remarkable.
Let's go after the first woman.
You want to speed up, find the first woman.
You can see on the right, I don't know if you'll be able to see where that stage vehicle is. It was shading the 3rd mile marker. So these front runners approaching the halfway point on the course. We just passed number 81, Ernest Brake, from the Granite State Racing Team. He is from North Sutton, New York. Number 160, Rick Copley from Conway, New Hampshire. The White Mountain Milers, the local running club, sending one of their own and doing very well. And that is Janko Bensa. So we have seen right now a dramatic development in this race. That was Janko Bensa. When we last left him, he was dueling with Daniel Kahara. It looked like we saw him very quickly reach for his thigh. And I have a feeling he's not even going to try to get back into this course. And in fact, I think he's waving to the stage vehicle, and he has dropped out. He is getting into the stage vehicle. Janko Bensa has dropped out of this race. We'll have to find out later if it was a pulled muscle or he just wore him down. There is Herman Fernandez, and I suppose if he comes back next year, perhaps he won't try to run so fast in the first portion of this course. You can see he has dropped back considerably in the pack. But what we are seeing now, the most dramatic development in this race, Janko Bensa from Yugoslavia, who has a 2:14 marathon best, has been forced to drop out of this race. When we get back to the lead of this race, we would be most surprised to see anybody running with Kihara. We would most likely see Kihara running by himself, unless he is affected by the heat, and we see Dan Farrington and Mike Kasner.
We lost the first woman?
Yeah, she was back.
What happened? We were supposed to blow the first woman.
Yeah.
You slow up.
You want to wait for the first woman?
Yeah, why don't we?
Okay, we're going to wait here for the first woman. Dan Farrington in number 7, Mike Kasner in number 9, wearing the familiar Polar jersey of the Central Mass Striders. They have pulled ahead of Fernandez. Fernandez, I'm assuming, has slowed down considerably. So 2 of our foreign runners who were figuring to be in the top 10, struggling. Herman Fernandez has dropped back considerably, and Janko Benza forced to drop out with what looked like a pulled muscle, perhaps. Sean Livingston from the Boston Athletic Association. I mentioned it earlier, 1987, ran a 109.14. That is the course record for the 19 and under category. At this point, before we get to the masses, the runners tend to come by single file. Fergus Cullen from Laconia, he finished in the top 10 a year ago. This Michael Woodman from Maryland, Timonium, Maryland, 35-year-old runner. Steve Peterson from the Central Mass Striders, running by with the grimace on his face. One of, I would imagine, hundreds of runners right now who are grimacing as they make their way to the top on an exceptionally warm day. This is number 6, Herman Fernandez, and about to approach is our lead female, Anna Pikertova. Anna Pikertova, Czech Republic, Waynesboro, Virginia, 27 years old, has a 10-mile personal best of 55.54, 7th place in the World Mountain Running Championships last September, and on her way perhaps to victory.
Get ahead of the first female again.
Number 32, that is Andrew Baird of Fairleigh, Vermont. I don't know if the Green Mountains of Vermont have anything like this to compare with. Another look at Pikertova, our female leader. Thomas Murdoch from the Athletics East in Somerville, Massachusetts, wearing bib number 515.
It goes slow past the water.
Further ahead.
A little bit further ahead.
Are the mountains in your camera? Okay. And now the runners hit the water stop. Herman Fernandez from Colombia, Pikertova just taking the jug. I don't know if you can catch that. Just took the jug out of the volunteer's hand and drank straight from it, then poured some water onto her hat to cool her head off. This is going to be a struggle today. Now taking even some more water. And at this point, Pikertova cannot get enough water to keep herself going. I would imagine they have some hills in the Czech Republic, but perhaps none like the Mount Washington road race. She has established a very strong lead. One of the runners that we have not seen, it was Janie Delacour, 3-time winner. We are halfway. No woman has ever broken 70 minutes, and Pikertova came through the halfway point at about 35 minutes. This is not Okay, go all the way to the top, to the front.
Not to the top, to the front.
Look for the front man.
Go to the lead. So Pikarchova crosses the halfway point at 35 minutes. Not likely she could duplicate that. This obviously a race where you're not likely to run faster in the second half of the race than you would in the first half. So even though you can say she's on pace for a sub 70-minute time, it's not likely she'd be able to keep it up. The women's course record, Magdalena Thorsel in 1998 won this race in 1:10.08. And she had a very interesting experience. She was not troubled. In fact, she may have run the second half faster. She said she felt great as she made her way to the top. Missed by just over 8 seconds, being the first sub 70-minute female at the Mount Washington race. Unfortunately, because of injuries and other commitments, Thorsel has not been able to return to this race. She came here with her husband, Simon Gutierrez, another top mountain runner who finished in the top 10 that year, but Gutierrez and Thorsel have not been back together. You can see the gap now opening up between the top runners as they make their way through the second half. And we are now at a point, we see Dan Barrington, where under normal conditions, what we would say is a normal ride to the top of Mount Washington, we'd start to see the first signs of cloud cover, but we're not going to see that today. It's going to be this clear all the way to the top, and it is going to make, and perhaps you can see that in the background, for some breathtaking, as we span over to the right, some absolutely breathtaking scenery. Also, in just a moment, I'm not know well how it's going to come out on the screen, you're going to be able to see the halfway point down almost at the bottom of the screen. This tells you just how far. We have probably traveled about a half a mile, not much more, and that's how high up we have come in that short a distance, and that gives you an idea of how steep this ride is. But again, you see what is a breathtaking view. There's Eric Morse, a runner-up in 1997 to Craig Fram. There is Dave Dunham, and there is the man going after Fred Norris's record, Craig Fram.
Stop and let it pass us.
All right, stop. Let these guys pass us.
Craig Fram, a New England Grand Prix champion, a Masters record holder in the state of New Hampshire, the first Masters runner to break 15 minutes at a New Hampshire 5K, the first New Hampshire runner to do so.
Yep.
Now trying to make his way to the record books of the Mount Washington Auto Road Race if he can finish under 104.57. And I believe, unless there's been a change in somebody with the speed of the comic book hero Flash is past, Fram would be in second, Dunham would be in third, Morse would be in fourth, and it means that probably the only runner ahead of us is Daniel Kahara, who should be on his way to his fourth victory. It would be the third time anybody has won this race 3 years in a row. Mike Gallagher from 1968 to 1971 actually won 4 years in a row. Bob Hodge had his 5-year streak from 76 to 80. No other runner has ever won this race 3 years in a row. It would be Kihara who joins that group today at the 2001. A look at Craig Fram, Dave Dunham, and Eric Morse. Our second, third, and fourth runner. Fram used to run for the Central Mass Striders.
Stop.
We take a look at our second and third place runners now running side by side. Craig Fram and Dave Dunham.
Yeah, let's get the distance. Okay, I'm filming.
What's that?
I'm filming.
All right, as we pull away from our second and third place runners, we make our way to the front where we expect to see Daniel Kahara about to head to the finish line for his fourth victory. I suppose the only question will be whether Kahara will make it to the finish line in under 1 hour. He is 3 for 3. His 3 victories, all under 1 hour. Nobody has ever done that at the Mount Washington Road Race, and he could perhaps make it 4 for 4. As we make our way to the top, tell you a little bit about the history. This race started in 1936. It was in honor of George Foster. George Foster in 1904 is considered to be the first person to have run up this road and be officially timed. He made it in about 1 hour and 45 minutes, faster than any vehicle at that point in time had ever made it. And there's Daniel Kahara again running all by himself. So as we take a look at Kahara, to tell you a little bit more about the history, the race was run from 1936 to 1938, and then it stopped because of World War II. Did not run again until 1961 when it returned to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the Mount Washington Carriage Road. And Johnny Kelly the Younger was the winner that year. Then in 1962, Fred Norris, as we said, the Masters record. No race between 63-65. It has been run ever since 1966. Charlotte Lettis became the first official female finisher in 1972. Derek Frood, the first sub-1 hour time, that was in 1990. Matt Carpenter, the second sub-1 hour time in 1993. Then Kahara ran a 58:21 in 96 for the current men's course record. Magdalena Thorsel in 1:10:08 for the current women's record in 1998. 2 years ago, we had weather like this, perhaps not as hot, had our fastest finish when both Kahara and Carpenter finished under 1 hour, and that had never happened, that 2 runners had finished under 1 hour. Kahara looking very strong. His running form doesn't look any different now than it did at the start of the race, and that's what makes him such a powerful runner at the Mount Washington Road Race. Gets to the finish line.
And we head to the top and make the announcement.
We are going to leave Kahara. The next thing you will see on this video is the finish line as we await Daniel Kahara's victory at the 2001 Mount Washington Road Race.
Enjoy themselves rather than being bundled up like a bunch of clothes. 1 hour. Creating quite a piece of history for himself at the Mount Washington Road Race. He will be one of only 3 runners to win this race. William Harvey representing the winner of the 2001 Mount Washington Road Race. From the Commonwealth Canada, Daniel Kahara. Across the finish line.
He did not break the 1 hour mark for the first time. He has not done that.
Under 2 minutes. We'll see whether or not Craig Fram will set the Masters record or Fred Norris's record will live for yet another year.
Since 1962, many have tried, and nobody has broken Fred Norris's Masters record. For those of you not familiar what we mean when we say the word master, it is any runner 40 years or older.
Who the heck's that? That's Dunham, maybe.
It is Dave Dunham, and he has 1 minute to get up to the top.
Come on, Craig!
horses. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our next Masters record holder, Greg Cram.
He's hurting.
And believe me, hearing it as Eric Morse, a runner-up to will be on fourth finisher.
He's hurting.
And as you can see, those of you on that side, Craig Fram earned every bit of that bonus, working very hard to get in under the 104.57.
$104.29.
104.29, officially the new Masters record. Masters record holder, he is from Plastow, New Hampshire. He already has a number of other records. He was the first New Hampshire runner to break 50, Masters runner to break 15 minutes at a New Hampshire 5K. He did that last summer in Exeter. And now he has added yet another piece of New England running history to his already amazing credentials. He's a former New England champion. And certainly he is not getting older, he is getting better. Another member of the Central Mass Striders will be our next finisher.
Dan Barrington.
He is perennially a top 10 finisher at this race and has established himself as one of New England's finest runners. We're going to get a look as we come around the turn at Dan Barrington from Bradford, Massachusetts. Will be our next.
And even the leaders walk this last stretch occasionally.
As you can see, Dan is doing what dozens and hundreds of others will do.
Craig got the record. Craig got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next finisher from Bradford. From Bradford, Mass, wearing ring number 7, Dan Barrington. So we will not see a women's course record today. Another Masters runner makes his way to the finish line as a top 10 finisher. This is Larry Sayers from Bellows Falls, Vermont. Larry has won many races.
Okay, Larry. Here you go.
His running resume, one of the finest in the area, as he adds yet another a top 10 finish. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Sayers from Bellows Falls, Vermont.
Craig got the record.
Another top 10 finish from Mike Posner. And behind Mike Posner, Nick Conway from upstate New York. And a Laconia runner, Fergus Cullen from Laconia. Local runner from the Lakes region, Fergus Cullen, who was the last finisher to cross the line of those three.
Number 763 from Timonian, Maryland is Michael Woodman, finishing just over 112. Number 186 is Dennis Day from Berea, Ohio. Number 11, Steve Peterson from Chelmsford, Massachusetts.
Yep. White hat, yeah. First female, here she comes.
On the right. She's coming.
And back here comes our top female in our P-Pom. It's her first time running the Mount Washington Road Race. And it is not easy to come in first the first time when you have no experience to fall back on, but that has not stopped her from becoming the champion in the year 2001. She makes her way to the finish. Unofficially 1:13:48, and that is the fastest winning time since the course record set in 1998. Fastest winning time in the last 3 years. David Herb from Canaan, Vermont. Thomas Lemon from Centerville, Massachusetts. Number 160, Rick from Conway, New Hampshire. Remember, now that we have seen the male Masters record, Joan Benoit Samuelson going after the female Masters record, the one that she set back in 1997 of 1:16:03. Whether or not she can make it remains to be seen, but I see the right hand of Joan Benoit. Not a chance that she gets the course record, but she'll see as we greet Ernie Brake. Ernie Brake from North Sutton, New Hampshire. But a lady who's running the resume precedes her as one of the outstanding runners that this country has ever seen is about to make her way into the finish line. But first we greet some of the top male runners, including number 32, Angel Baird from Fairleigh, Vermont. This is Mark Berman from Elliott, Maine. And ladies and gentlemen, our second female, the 1984 Olympic gold medalist, the first lady of running in the United States. This is Joan Benoit Samuelson. Joan Benoit Samuelson. She will finish in second place, just 42 seconds off her Masters course record. Number 124, Charlie Casey from All Place, New York.
Good job, guys.
From Brooklyn. Number 22 is from Worcester, Massachusetts.
Good job.
Number 461,
Back, guys.
Stephen Marsalis from New York City. Not sure how you train for this race in New York City. Peter Loprior from Somerset, Massachusetts. 766 Steve Woodward from East Corinth, Vermont, a former winner of this race. James Jacobs.
Good job, Dave. Masters record fell.
From number 709, John Brigham from Bedford, Massachusetts. And now number 350, Bob Johnson from Leominster. Number 296, Charlie Gunn from Henniker, New Hampshire.
Third.
Number 654, Matthew Schulberg from Randolph, New Hampshire. Number 360 is Alex Kahan from Norwich, Vermont. Number 50 is Mark Bell from Concord, Massachusetts. This is Eric Shane, number 46 from Chelmsford. Coming up on your right in the Gate City Striders is Ed Sheldon from Hooksett. Number 701, Bob Stroud from Salisbury, Massachusetts.
I don't understand what the camera's Shoot, so good.
Number 166, Tom Cross from Dover, New Hampshire. And as we wait for runners, I just advise you to look around at the vista because it's against us getting this kind of weather at the summit in the next couple of years. Representing the Winners Circle Running Club. Number 563, Gary Kessler from Amesbury. Susan West from Putney, Vermont, our next female finisher. Remember, the Cambridge Sports Union was named another top 10 finish for Susan West. Our next female to finish from Colorado, Renee Fragile from Sonoma, Colorado. Number 635 from Steamboat Springs, Colorado.
All right, Kim, looking good. Good job, guys.
Marjorie Sherman from North Massachusetts.
Good job.
Number 9,
Yell medic is riding out at the top.
Medic! Park City, Utah. 2 members of the Cambridge Scratchini Brigade. Oleg Shapiro from Somerville.
I think it's fine.
I don't know what it is.
Great. I think it's going to be fine.
431 we need the medical corps at the finish line. The medical corps to the finish line, please. All members of the medical corps, please, to the finish line. Here comes number 688, 26-year-old
guys. There you go. 1, 3, 4. Good.
Number 382 is Ted Kilgore from Park City, Utah. Number 345. Charles Islenberger from Madison, Connecticut. Number 593, Dave Quinto from Bradford, Mass. Ladies and gentlemen, 3-time winner, Jeannie Abdul McClure. Speaking of which, let's bring these winners home. As they make it back to the finish line, they can use all the help they can get. 5 seconds to go to the winner. Let's have a big all-final push. Believe me, I will appreciate it. This winner has 20 seconds to go. If you can make it then, this is Kelly Russo from Connecticut. 10 seconds to go. 5 seconds to go.
Number 129 is John Cedarholm in the blue, a former winner.
50 plus runners. Number 50 for the women, Rebecca Stockdale-Woolley, one of the top
John Craig Cram got the record.
Giselle Jamal from Dover, New Hampshire. First time running the race. Up-and-coming runner in the state of New Hampshire, Giselle Jamal. Kendall Custer from Bennington, Massachusetts. Number 321, T.J. Hessler from Maine, one of Maine's best runners. Number 655, Massachusetts. From Manchester. Number 374, David Kelly from Mexico, New Hampshire.
You say your number physically so long?
Number 614, Bradley Ripley from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Number 440, David Hauser from Cambridge, Massachusetts. And Donna Smears, the Northwest female from Roxbury, Vermont. The top triathlete from Florida. Number 520, Mike Myers from Belleville, Ontario.
file. There you go. Single file. Good job. Good run, guys. Good job. Good run. Single file, guys. Good job.
Hey, the whistle of the cog railway coming.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Tate. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Mom. Hi, Tate. Hi, Ollie.
Well done. Congratulations.
Good job.
All right, Mark. Good finish. Nice going. Nice work. Great job. Great job.
Good job.
Good job.
Nice run.
Good
You're grimacing with pain.
Great finish, good job. Good one, guys. Good one, let's go.
Barbara Remmers, former winner.
You're the first guy to the club.
Hey, good run. Get my Go. Mike McLaughlin's the young Nick. Good job. All right, Mike should be right here. Nice job. Good one, guys. Good job. Even though it's 1,000 pounds. Good job. Stay in line. Stay in line. Stay in line. Stay in line. Good job. Stay in line, guys. There we go. Great job. Great line. Good job. Way to go. Great job. Set us up and you one strong.
Hey, good job!
Dave McGilvray, director of the Boston Marathon. Great, Dave.
Wait a minute!
Where's your hat, Patrick? Where's your hat?
All right, stand on it. Good job. Come on. Come on, guys. Let's go. Good. Looking great. Guys. Good job, guys. There you go. Stay in line. Good job. How are you doing, buddy? Yeah, stay in line. Good job, guys. Good job. Stay in line. Good job. Good job, guys. Good luck. Stay in line, guys. Nice to go.
Go deep. Evan, I'm free! Good job. Good job. Good job, guys. Thank you, all of you. Good job, guys.
That's my job.
Great job.
my backpack in the bin there. Backpack in the bin. Thank you. Ray, get the bug spray out of there for me. It's not in the backpack. It's in the bin. You know what they say about people who do that? They didn't run fast enough.
Needs oxygen, responsible passages. But, yeah, we do a good job for him. Okay? Yep. Then, yeah, they should have informed you of that. Hey, does anyone know about medical?
Yell loudly for medic.
The guy that's claiming it was bronchial passage and needs oxygen. He'll be in about 30 seconds.
Yell loudly for a medic.
Run up to the announcer and ask him to take the medic out from you. How you doing, okay?
Yeah, some of them he had me run in ahead of him.
Where's the medical?
Where's the guy?
No, she's coming right in. He wants to finish. His bronchial, I don't know, but he knows what he needs, right? So, okay? He said he is going to need oxygen.
Well done.
You guys got a two-way. All right, good deal. Maybe he stopped. How are you? You hiking down or driving? We have three. No, I'm changing, yeah.
Do you want me to get him to go out again?
Yeah.
just out of our view. There's two people with some. Larry! Come on. 247 is our guy.
Joe?
Hey, nice going, man.
Joe's the one who needs the medic.
This is our guy. Mate, can you walk him out?
Joe, you okay?
Good boy. I love you. Here's our guy right here. We will come down. We're going down the stairs.
Awesome job. Great work.
Good run. Great run, great run. Right, Bob Johnson. Good job, buddy. Joey. Good job, guys. 1, 2, there you go. Stay on. Come on, guys. Come on, everyone good job, Mike. Good job. Come on, hang in there. Good job, good job. Great run.
get here. No, I'll come. Just wanted to make sure.
Good job. Nice work.
Good one.
David.
Nice job. Hey, that was the first. Did you hear that? All right, folks, good job. Great job. Yeah! Good job!
Don't up anymore. You're done. Good job, guys. Great.
What a finish! Awesome! Right here! Good job! Nice!
How long do you think you just
Caroline! Caroline! Caroline!
Good girl! Yeah! Good job! Good job! Good job! Good job! Yeah!
Davis, good job.
So you're still like... Nice job! Good work! Good job!
Good job, you made it.
Congratulations! Good job!
Welcome to the top.
Good job! Good work!
Good job, guys. How you doing? Okay? Good job. Good job, guys.
Good job!
Welcome to the top.
Nice job!
Go up from here. Good job, guys.
Awesome job.
Good job. Single file, there you go. You made it, bud.
Nice job! Good job.
You made it.
finish. Oh, this is a strong finish.
Nice work. Great way to finish.
Good work, guys. Good work.
Great work. Lousy day. Good job. Nice job. Good work. Look at you smiling. Wow. Good job. Good job. Good job. Well done. Well done. Congrats. Okay. Well done. Yeah. Good job. Thank you.
You're up.
Congratulations.
Good run, good run.
She looks alright. She was talking to me and everything. You did a great job. Congratulations. Nice work. Good job. Yeah. Great finish.
You did it.
Great job! Well done. Great job. All over. Good work. Nice job! Congratulations! Yeah. Nice work. Good job.
Come back when you're done.
Nice job. Congratulations. Nice work.
Wow, you made it.
Here comes Carlton Mendel.
All right, Carlton.
comes 72-year-old Hildy Foss.
Yeah! Nice job!
Good job, Hildy.
Thank you. Yeah, good job. Great work. Good job.
Way to go, buddy. Way to go, buddy. Come on, Chuck. Let's get some bucks.
Great work.
Great job.
Woohoo! Good job.
Come on uphill.
Top. Welcome to the top. You're up. Good job.
Good job.
Good job. Made it up.
There he goes. You gonna run down, Carlton? There goes Carl Mendel. He's gonna run down now. 79-year-old.
Nice work.
Thank you.
Very good. Number 5, 6, 6. Yellow line.
I think that speaker was out.
Congratulations! Woohoo! Good job! All right, all finished.
Nice job, guys.
One down. Did you okay, sir? Good job. Good job.
Great job.
Good job, good job. Stay in line.
Wow, great job. Nice work.
Last thing is,
You're gonna wake up. Wake up.
right. We have 5 cars.
Good job. Woo! Yeah, great job. Good work. Good job, guys. Woo!
Jim Berry from Hampton, New Hampshire.
Congratulations.
There's Jimmy. Jerry Panarese.
Congratulations, sir. Nice work. Good job. Congratulations. Good job. Congratulations.
Louise Rossetti, after taking a fall on the final ascent, looks like she's no worse for the wear.
You all right? Yeah, get her inside.
There you go. First on the medal. Thank you.
Just break them down. Let's think that they'll get
Looks like she's bleeding at the elbow there. Here comes 83-year-old Phil Campbell. All right, Phil.
Congratulations. No, he's not finishing? No, where's the habit? Oh.
Did you just finish?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I said, has he finished? And somebody said, great job. Well,
Here comes our oldest finisher. Don't know his name, but he's 85 years old. Whoa!
Congratulations.
All right, you did it. Way to go.
Congratulations. So incredible.
Carlton Mandel jogging down the mountain. 79 years old. Go Carlton!
In our awards ceremony, first of all, close to 900 finishers. Give yourselves a round of applause. A tremendous effort. One of the dichotomies of running is it's a great day for spectators. It means it's a rough day for runners. And we had a great time up on the finish line waiting for you, but I know what a difficult day it was watching you make it all the way up to the top. Before we award and acknowledge the outstanding achievements of some of the runners today, there are three people we would like to introduce. We give lip service sometimes to what it means to have organizations step forward and be sponsored. But let me tell you a little bit about this race. They lost a couple of sponsors, and an organization here in the state of New Hampshire stepped forward and formed a partnership that we hope continues for many years. And that's why it is my privilege to introduce the Director of Marketing and Special Events from our major sponsor of Northeast Health and Dental, Frank Donovan.
On behalf of Northeast Health and Dental, its President and CEO Tom Raffio and all its employees, I'd like to congratulate all of you runners who participated in this year's event. I'd also like to thank Race Director Bob Keshick and his crew and volunteers who made this wonderful event possible. Delta Dental takes great pride in community activities, and we look forward to a long relationship with the Mount Washington Road Race.
We also want to acknowledge a couple of other sponsors. First, from Distribution Services of America, David Petrie. And from New England Runner Magazine, editor and publisher Bob Fitzgerald. Distribution Services of America was our associate sponsor, and of course, New England Runner Magazine once again sponsored the Masters Course Record Bonus. Again, a round of applause for our three sponsors, Northeast Health and Dental, New England Runner Magazine, Distribution Services of America. Believe me, folks, without them, this race could not be the elite and outstanding event that it is. We will begin by acknowledging our top 10 men and women. When we announce them, obviously some of these runners will have finished first or second in their age categories. And so we will acknowledge at that time where they placed in their divisions. We begin with 10. Our 10th place female in a time of 1:29.59 from Clinton, Connecticut, Carrie Arsenault. She was a top 10 finisher a year ago as well. Our 10th place male
Whitman. Our ninth place female, also second in the 40 to 44 category, who has quite a history at this race. She is a three-time winner and a time of 1:29.18 from Denver, Colorado, Jamie Adea LaCour. Ninth place for the men in a time of 1:11.21. Another year that he finishes in the top 10 from Laconia, Fergus Cullen. He had temporarily transplanted himself to Connecticut. We're glad he's back as a New Hampshire resident. Our eighth place female. She was a former top New Hampshire runner, now one of the top runners in the state of Vermont. Another year that she finishes in the top 10 in 1:25.22 from Newport Center, Vermont, Colleen Allen. Our eighth place male in a time of 1:11.15 from upstate New York, Nick Conway. Our seventh place male, again a perennial top 10 finisher at this race in 1:11.13 from Keene, New Hampshire, Mike Kasner. From Northampton, Massachusetts, Margaret Scherer. Our sixth place female, running her first time at Mount Washington in 1:25.01 from Salida, Colorado, Renee Frazee. Place male, also second in the 40 to 44 category, also making his debut at Mount Washington in 1:10.43 from Bellow Falls, Vermont, Larry Sayers. Our fifth place female, also second in the 35 to 39 category, another top 10 finisher for one of Vermont's finest in 1:24.20 from Putney, Vermont, Susie West. Susie's a dentist. She and Frank are going to be spending some time up here in the state. Our fifth place male also figures in the top 10 year after year in 1:08.42 from Bradford, Mass, Dan Barrington.
first in the 35 to 39 category. In a time of 1:20.02 from New Mexico, Kathy Pierce. Kathy, come on back.
That was fantastic. Won this race at the age of 40 in 1 hour, 4 minutes and 57 seconds. And his Masters record has stood since then. A year ago, to celebrate the 40th anniversary of this race, of the 40th running of this race, New England Runner Magazine offered $4,000 to any Masters runner that could break the record. And Bob Fitzgerald got to go home without having to write the check. Well, Bob, get out the checkbook. Ladies and gentlemen, new Masters record, third place medal, 1 hour, 4 minutes, 29 seconds. Greg Graham from Blackstone, New Hampshire. Greg Graham, Blackstone, New Hampshire, the new Masters record winner. Craig, if you think you're getting off the stage without a couple of words, the obvious sports answer stupid question is just your thoughts about it today.
Well, first of all, I'm really happy to get this record behind me. It's been something that's been in my mind for a couple of years since I turned 40, and unfortunately the first couple of years I was injured the first year, and last year I came down with an illness and couldn't even compete, so I think it was a little added pressure today to really get it before I get too old. And also I just want to thank all the race directors and all the support of leading up to the race. I mean, it was great. The encouragement from everybody before the race and along the course, it was really rooting for me to get it. So, and next year I put in for a little cooler conditions.
I was going to say, to talk about with the heat. At what point did you have any doubt, or at what point did you think that you could break the record?
I would like to say I never had any doubt, but that would be a lie. I really started getting doubts at around 5 miles. And you can ask Dunham and Morse because I grunted all over him a number of times. But at about 5 miles, I started to have doubts because I really wasn't aware of what the splits should be. And I really didn't know I had the record right up until I turned the corner and saw the finish chute. And that's when I knew I had it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we talk about Craig Norris some more. We try talking about the era of Craig Graham, the new Masters record holder of Mount Washington. Now we move on to our second place female. Unfortunately, other family commitments have forced her not to be able to stick around for the award ceremony. A woman whose name is fairly well known, I would say, in the running community. Our second place female, 1:16.47 from Freeport, Maine, Joan Samuelson. She did tell us this week that she was glad to return to the race, but unfortunately could not stay to the award ceremony and offered her regrets for not being able to stay. Our second place male now has something to shoot for in a few years. In a time of 1:04.20, 3-time winner of this race
Washington Road Race in a winning time of 1:13:48 from the Czech Republic, Anna Karkova. Once again to rule the race. 4 starts, 4 wins at Mount Washington. This is the 3rd year in a row we've called him up to the stage as the winner. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the 2001 Mount Washington Road Race in a winning time of 1 hour and 6 seconds from the country of Kenya, Daniel Kihara.
They encouraged everybody, but I think it was a little bit too hard today.
Will we see you next year?
I hope so. I try to come again, and that will be great. I try to prepare a little bit better, and I will try to break a record.
You weren't even prepared, you won.
Actually, I didn't train in high altitude, so my legs were alright, but I couldn't breathe so well.
Well, congratulations. We're becoming old friends on this victory stage, my friend.
Andy. You are. You know, this year it was a very hot year. I tried to push, by halfway I was inside the course record, but the last part of it was very hard for me because even there was no water, I was crying for water.
Now, this is the first year you didn't finish under an hour. What's the matter?
Actually, the last part of the course, it was very hard and there was no water. I feel I was drying up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Kihara. First time at this race. I think she's only going to get better. In 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 41 seconds from Dover, Joselle Germano. the top masters are. We award the top 3. Our third place female in the 8th grade masters category in a time of 1:29.18, which is a masters 8th grade time of 1:26.10, Janie Delacour. Our third place in the male 8th grade category, also first in the 50 to 54 category, and a time of 1:18.52 and an 8th grade time of 1:11.19. A former winner of this race, Keith Woodward. Our second place. In the second place, in the female 8th grade category, in a time of 1:30.27, an 8th grade time of 1:20.05. She is first in the 50 to 54 category and sets a new course record by close to 5 minutes in the 50 to 54 category from Chaplin, Connecticut, Rebecca Stockdale-Williams. In second in the male 8th grade masters category, in a time of 1:10.43 with an 8th grade performance of 1:08.25, from Bellow Falls, Vermont, Larry Sayers. I mentioned earlier it was New England Runner Magazine that put up the bonus money for the Masters bonus, so at this time it'd be only appropriate that to announce the winners of the male and female 8th grade Masters category, we call on Bob Fitzgerald of New England Runner.
Oh my God, what's all this spittle on here? Alright, on the women's side, she's at her kid's soccer game right now. It's a full day for any working mother. Joan Samuelson, who isn't with us. She was only 43 seconds off the Masters course record, which is her own course record. So great job by Joni, but let's jump right to a run for the ages here. In our last issue, Johnny J. Kelly, Johnny the Younger, ran an absolutely fabulous, in my mind, he wrote an absolutely fabulous article, in my mind, on his race with Fred Norris here in 1962. They were neck and neck into the fog at 6 miles, and Fred got a few feet on him, and Johnny told him to go. He knew he was going to get his record, and his last sentence in the article was, "It was a good, honest effort today. Fred is going to get the record." Well, no one put in a better or more honest or tougher run in these conditions today among any ages than Craig Fram, and he's our overall top age-rated male. Craig admitted that this is the first race ever, and he's had a long career, where he couldn't make it down the finish chute. And I've got some photos of him flat in his back, but I'm willing to sell him back now that he's into some Lucra. So we'll talk about that over a few beers later, but congratulations.
I got it on video.
Once again, a round of applause for New England Runner Magazine, their sponsor of this bonus record. This category is our Clydesdale Filly category. These are also using the Veteran Athletes Association age grade system. Our top filly in a time of 2:04.43, which is age graded to be a 1:48.23 from Bucksport, Queen, John Merriam. Our second place Clydesdale in a time of 1:32.51 with an age graded performance of 1:29.50 from Kentucky, New Hampshire, Jeff Litchfield. And our winner in the Clydesdale category in a time of 1:27.27, which is age graded to come out to 1:26.24 from Kingston, New Hampshire, Donald White. We will acknowledge the top two in each age category. Starting with the female 19 and under. And our winner in a time of 1:50.02 from Groton, Connecticut, 14-year-old Elizabeth Boucher. Lindsay Burkhardt. By the way, it just occurred to me, 14 years old and she's running a 150? Male 19 and under, our winner in time of 1:25.57 from Belmont, New Hampshire, Brian Oliver. In second place in 1:33.03 from New Boston, New Hampshire, Ryan Kelly. The 20 to 34 category is considered the open category. We've already acknowledged our top runners in that category. So we jump ahead to the female 35 to 39. We've already acknowledged those folks. I will remind you that our winner was Kathy Pierce. Susie West was second. In the male 35 to 39 category, we've already acknowledged those runners. Dave Dunham was first, Eric Mortz was second. In the female 40 to 44 category, our winner, of course, was Joan Samuelson. Janie Delacour was second. In the male 40 to 44 category, we've already acknowledged that Craig Fran was first and Larry Sayers was second. We move on to the female 45 to 49 category. Our winner in a time of 1:42.18 from Litchfield, New Hampshire, Pam Hall. In second place in a time of 1:42.26 from Newburyport, Massachusetts, Paula Holmes. To 49 category. Our winner in a time of 1:19.14 from Leominster, Mass, Bob Johnson. In second place, in a time of 1:19.39 from Henniker, New Hampshire, Charlie Gunn. And a new course record time for that age category in 1:30.27. In the second place in the female 50 to 54 category, our winner in a time of second place in a time of 1:49.36 from West New Mary Lou Lowry. In the male 50 to 54 category, we have already acknowledged that our winner in a time of 1:18:52 from East Corinth, Vermont is Keith Woodward, former winner of this race. In second place in a time of 1:21:32 from Rosendale, Massachusetts, Jim Terry. If you're in the female 55 to 59 category, our winner in a time of 1:57:18 from Nashua Jane Lebec. If you want to pretend you're gay, did Eric pick it up? In a time of 2:06:30, Faye Gagnon. In the male 55 to 59 category, our winner in a time of 1:28:29 from Andover, Mass, Jonathan Stapleford. In second place in a time of 1:30:12, John Cederholm from Marion, Massachusetts. A former winner in 1973, ladies and gentlemen, John Cederholm. In the female 60 to 64 category, our winner in 2:10:12 from Loudon, New Hampshire, Diana Avery. In second place in 2:18:45 from Waldo, Maine, Louisa Dunlap.
Good job, Louisa. You got the time like that.
In the male 60 to 64 category, our winner in a time of 1:34:19 from West Rupert, Vermont, John Pelton. Now, John shouldn't feel, John, you ran 10 minutes off the course record, don't feel bad, it's your course record. That shows you the difference in the heat between 2 years, when we had ideal conditions and John ran 10 minutes faster. Second place in the male 60 to 64 category, 1:45:25 each finishing time from Colorado Springs, Colorado, Robert McAndrews. It's the second year in a row that Robert has traveled from Colorado Springs to finish second in this age category. time of 1:56.50 from Hudson, New Hampshire, George Bisson. In second place in the male 65 to 69 category, the time of 1:58.41 from New Jersey, Gunther Eric. From Pequannock, New Jersey. I used to live in New Jersey. I don't know what the hurry is to get back there. In the female 70 to 74 category, our winner in a time of 2 hours, 33 minutes, and 34 seconds from Holderness, New Hampshire, Hildy Fossey. Hildy also did not break her own course record, so not to feel bad, Hildy. In the male 70 to 74 category, our winner at a time of 1:55.02 from Jupiter, Florida, Jeffrey Henrington. Jeff, they seem so surprised from Jupiter. I mean, the Jupiter, Florida fans seem so surprised. Did I already Hilton, Florida? I wouldn't imagine you would. In second place, in a time of 1:57.37 from Marblehead, Massachusetts, Don Ross. In the female 75 and over category, unfortunately not able to break her own course record in a time of 3 hours, 5 minutes, and 50 seconds from Saugus, Massachusetts, Louise Rossetti. Serious fall near the finish. Now, I must also tell you, this will be the last year she is in this age category. In 2 weeks, she celebrates her 80th birthday. Her birthday is on Friday the 29th. On Thursday the 28th at Corey's Spa in Somerville, the Thursday night runs will be the Louise Rossetti 80th birthday party. So if you're in the Boston area on Thursday night at 7 o'clock, go for a 4-mile run with Louise Rossetti and celebrate her 80th birthday. We still... Two more exceptional runners to acknowledge. In the 80 to 84 category. I apologize. In the male 75 to 79 category. See, Louise has that effect on me. Our winner in a time of 2 hours, 31 minutes, and 7 seconds from Waterford, Connecticut, Peter Pantelis. Peter Pantelis. Peter Pantelis, are you here? You want a training run? What? Okay. In second place, in 2 hours, 32 minutes and 23 seconds from Portland, Maine, Carlton Mandel. Over 2 minutes. And in a time of 3 hours, 11 minutes and 57 seconds from Winnie, Pennsylvania, Howard Kellogg. You got 4 more tries for your age group category.
Thanks. I think not. This is the last gasp.
Oh, come on. It can't be this hot next year, Howard. It can't be this hot next year. I'm sure we can talk to you into that. Now we move on to our team results. We will start with the male open. I'm going to run through these and just call up one representative from each team. Our winner in the male open category is the Central Mass Striders. They've done on our sport, Dan Barrington, Larry Sayers, Mike Kastner, Fergus Collison, Steve Peterson. In second place, the Whirlaway Racing Team of Frank Brand, Kenneth Liska, Scott Brown, TJ Hessler, Bob Bradford. In third place, the Winner's Circle, Mark B. and Bob Stroud, Tom Cross, Gary Petzler, Don White, Dave Boucher, John Weber. In fourth place, the Boston Athletic Association, Sean Livingston, Mark Bell, Dave Narrows, John Cedarholm, Dan Sanford, Jeff Tucker, Gerald Beauchamp. In fifth place is the Hartford Track Club, Bob McCusker, Todd Brown, Jerry Molson, Ken Livingston, Larry Rubin, Rob Henry, Mike Callahan. Hartford Track Club. Anybody here from the Hartford Track Club? Anybody who's a representative of the club can take these trophies. Female Open, winners Central Mass Striders, Jacqueline Shakar, Rebecca Stockdale Woolley, Robert McManus, Karen McGahey, Cynthia
go.